When you've been successful and made the first breakthrough, you've got to repeat it over and over and over again in order to convince the community that it's not a flash in the pan.
I was greatly inspired when I left my undergraduate institution, which was the University of Edinburgh, with my PhD. And my wonderful professor at that time, he said, "Whatever you do, Stoddart, tackle a big problem." I saw this publication by a man called Charles Pedersen from the DuPont Research Labs in Wilmington, Delaware, making big rings. And I had been kind of indoctrinated at Edinburgh by my teachers as, so forget about making rings bigger than 7. Well, here was one that was being 18 atoms big, and it really blew apart the teaching that I'd been given. And so I thought, well, that's where I start. That's a big problem. The challenges I faced were very much the academic system of the time, where in England it was, and to some extent it maybe still is, hierarchical. And so being a young equivalent of an assistant professor was not an easy task, because the last thing the more senior people wanted to do was to give you support. So that was a challenge, but I overcame that in the fullness of time. It took 20 years, but you know, you just have to learn to be patient, and I came out on top, I think, at the end of it. I knew Fred Kavli rather well when I was at the University of California, Los Angeles. We used to meet on an annual basis, and I have very warm memories of these meetings. When I met with Fred, it was always a day to remember, because he was a person of great posture and was rather poky in his sense of humor, a very gentle person in speech and in his actions. And you know, I came to have great admiration for him. And one of the things that I think he did rather well in his philanthropy was not to target just one thing. He has 3 prizes, for example, that are given by annually. So it wasn't that his philanthropy was very, very much targeted. It was that it was spread over different countries to different levels, and I think in that respect Fred was unique.